Welcome to the Moments That Matter podcast. I am your host, Laura Escamilla, and I am joined today by my very good friend, Celina. This is her third time with us. And as you already know, she's an amazing optometrist and is always extremely busy. So we're really grateful for her time. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
So what her friends and family know about her, and most people probably don't, is that she's an extremely thoughtful gift giver. And, you know, sometimes people give you gifts and you're like, what were they thinking giving? I don't even like this. But she's not that person. She is very good with the small gestures that make you feel really special. She's a great gift giver. And over the many years that I've known her, she's also a very thoughtful host of a party. The decorations to the dessert bar. This woman can put on a dessert bar, I tell you what. And she thinks through every detail. So today we're going to chat about gifts for our college students because this is her expertise, even though she went to college to be an optometrist. This is her deal. This is her jam. This is where she thrives. And we always talk about this, like what our kids are going to remember about us, and her kids will remember her gifts and her hosting parties. And we're at the midpoint of the semester. Midterms are starting to happen. Holidays are approaching. College kids are starting to feel homesick. And they need a little pick-me-up. So it's time to send a care package. So tell me about all of the wonderful things I'm sure you did.
Well, it's so funny. Well, thank you for that intro. That was so thoughtful of you. I appreciate that. You know, it's funny that yes, I'm already preparing for a little care package for my kids. This time of year is usually where I send kind of the first one. And I don't know, you're right. Kids at this time, now they've have a couple of months under their belt going to school. They've maybe had that first round of exams and they start kind of missing home sometimes. And maybe I haven't been able to go visit them or they haven't had a chance to come home. Everybody's situation is different. And so I don't know, I really love to send a care package to my kids.
Mhm.
And from past experiences, they just really learn to appreciate
They
it.
do,
And
yeah.
what I love to do for them. And I'm guilty even a little bit. I even have now kind of sometimes send a little care package to their roommates. And I'm
Yes.
just like, I just kind of crazy. I go a little crazy that way, but
Because you're
I-
thoughtful to make sure that everybody gets something, right?
Yes.
I did that, well, with both kids. Probably their first care package is usually, it was about this time, Halloween. The midterms are starting to feel a little homesick, but
Sure.
also the stress of
Yes.
classes are really getting in there. And I did both of them. I sent a box, probably, you get a regular box and you decorate the inside of it when they open it. So it's all nice and pretty.
Yes.
But I did for groups, right? For their roommates and the friends. I know that they have like 6 friends. So you kind of put, with Skylar, I did Halloween and did a little treat bag for each one and something they could all enjoy together.
Absolutely. Yes. So yeah, that's just kind of how it gets started. You know your kid and maybe certain things that they miss from home, their snacks, their favorite snacks.
Mhm.
Always include of course, a little note, a little inspirational note, a little quote. They have siblings, just a handwritten note from them that you can also include in that box. Sometimes I want to spruce up their little dorm room or their bulletin board, just something, a little fall inspiration, a little Halloween trick or treat of some sort. And just to get them in the season because they're not at home. That's how the whole gift giving idea begins.
So
you
what
know?
holiday, this is we start now sending your first care package, but what do you do throughout the year? Like what?
So generally the bigger little care package is usually going to be this time of year and then right before their finals. I sometimes have sent like a little third one, maybe just a few weeks once they begin school. But for the most part, it's kind of this time of year and right before finals, Christmas, end of the year, inspired.
Relaxing. What does that
Yes.
one include? What kind of stuff?
Which one? The one
For finals.
For finals, again, some of their favorite snacks. I think also, too, they just kind of sometimes get burned out with whether it be that cafeteria food, whatever it is. So just a little gift card for their favorite restaurants or fast food sometimes. A little extra cash I'll put in there. And again, just some little decor they can put on their bulletin board, just easily stick it on there. And, I do see whenever I FaceTime my daughter, you'll see in the background her little bulletin board. And she puts up those little notes that I've sent her along the way.
Yeah.
And we just kind of, during their
Nice,
study
yeah.
time and their stressful time, it's just something they look at, say, a little piece of home. Sometimes just a picture from the family,
Yeah.
just have it kind of included in there. Or I send little mini crafts that already comes included with just a little canvas, a little, just the paints you need and a paintbrush. And again, just things that they can do on
Like
their own time
relaxing.
as a break from their study time. Or sometimes send like a simple little bingo. Hey, Olivia, get together with your friends, do, some type of bingo just for fun,
Yeah. So with Skylar, like, so she probably had about six kids that she hung
Mm-hmm.
out with. So I got one of those Halloween themed Monopoly games
Yeah,
and a gift card for Domino's. Just something in my mind was more
awesome.
like, so on Halloween they could stay in, like not be out doing stuff. And then the goodie treat bags and
Yes.
things like that. And then with Lucas this last year, I did one of those pop-up cornhole
Yeah. Wow.
games.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I sent, because they're all boys, and I sent like a deck of Halloween themed cards and like
Great
the little
ideas.
like slimy gooey ball things they could throw and like just mess around kind of thing.
Yes.
So
Even
they,
like those little stress balls, that
yeah.
just, they just kind of push on them and just,
Yeah,
squeeze
and
on
then
them,
like the little
you know?
Halloween ones, like the eyeballs came out,
Yeah.
and I did a bunch of those
Yes.
little things
We
for
think in the same way there, Laura.
yeah,
We do.
Boy
We
stuff.
do.
That
boy
sounds
stuff,
pretty
just
cool.
fun,
Yeah.
and
The boy
snacks like
stuff.
hot
Yes.
Cheetos and all the junk that they like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just but their favorite candies, things like that. For
Selena, have
sure.
you ever considered sending a Lego, or have you sent us like a Lego set?
That would be my third child. She's like, she'll be
those are
off to
the
college soon. And that she would love to do. That'll be a great idea for her.
Awesome.
Those little mini Lego sets, that's a good idea.
And the flower ones, the botanical ones,
those are
they're really cool. I think I want to build
Yeah.
a few for my office.
yeah.
Hey, start your
And
collection.
I think, I'm not going to say because my son's birthday is coming up, and you don't want to give away in case he listens what we're doing right for Halloween and coming up. But yes, like you start throughout the year. I don't know about you, but like a month ahead, I'm like, oh, this little thing as Halloween starts coming up, I'm like, oh, let me get this.
That's exactly what
Oh,
I
let me
do.
get this. So,
Yes, because I don't like to be overwhelmed the few days before that I want to send
like
out a
I
care
just set
package.
out.
I don't work that way that I'm going to go and just go to the store and find everything I need.
Yeah.
I do it like that.
Yeah, just
You're
make
right.
little things, and then you start
Yes.
piling them up so that when you're ready, you have everything. And I've done even simple things with Valentine's Day. Lucas, I just sent him Tiff's treats, just had them delivered to the dorm. Not a care package, but just some brownies and
different, yes.
cookies just to get just a little something.
I think that counts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
just and
unexpected.
put a little note
yes.
in it. And
Yes.
for Skylar's 21st birthday, that one was a big box, a big deal. And she wasn't going to be with us. So I sent the gift card for like dinner and something like that. I actually sent money to her boyfriend so he could buy
Oh, how
like
sweet.
food for all of them to kind of
Yes.
celebrate.
Yeah.
But I did 21 little gifts that I wrapped individually and numbered them 1 through 21.
That's
And there were
awesome.
little things like a pair of earrings and, little things that
Right.
she liked. But I wanted her to open 21 things. I saw that on Pinterest and it was really fun. And she was like, Mom, like by number 10, I was like,
Mom, what'd you do?
wrapped every
Yeah.
single one. I'm like, but I
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I kind of went overboard with that
Yeah.
one. But
And that's
but they
awesome.
appreciate it.
But
They
sure.
definitely.
And a lot of times, it is a point that a lot of times for their birthdays, they are not
Mhm.
home. And so
Mhm.
that, again, they're being thought of and we still care for them, love them. And just to show that little gesture of love is
Yeah.
awesome.
And you kind of
Yeah.
pay attention to the things they're doing, right? Like the restaurants they're going to,
Yeah.
the things they're doing for fun.
Yes.
And so that you can get a gift card or something for that, right?
And a lot of times too is like, say, kind of come December, or even like, say, early January, maybe for that Valentine's care package, they don't realize in some places it starts getting colder and our
Mhm.
kids don't plan on gloves or some type of a hat, cap. And I just kind of include those things, warm socks,
Yeah.
just kind of, an extra
Fuzzy
one of
socks,
those
yeah.
that they don't necessarily want to
Yeah.
buy on their own. So you just send it in the care package as well.
That's a great
Yeah.
consideration because
Yeah.
as a college student, no one would want to spend any money on stuff like that.
That's exactly it. They're
Yeah.
not going to go to the Walmart or Target just to get a pair of gloves, but they know you're
But they're
walking to
gonna need
class.
it.
Yeah, and their hands are freezing while they're walking from
And
class to
even
class.
things like midterms, like say coming up or finals, like little things like a mask or, a
Yes,
gift card for a manicure if you have a daughter, little relaxing things, like you said, something to
Yeah.
paint or
Yes.
color or just to get their mind off
yes,
finals. Even if
exactly.
they don't use it like while before finals, maybe after, to get like, we're done kind of
Yeah,
thing.
no, yes, I think that's just a great mindset too, that you're having to think the way they want to, just, but they're going through so much, and just how can they find ways to just relax and enjoy something away from their books. I know here, I'm like I said, we're playing like a little fall Halloween care package, and there's a little kind of a gingerbread Halloween house, just so
Mhm.
maybe you can get together with some friends and just enjoy a little
Right.
break. Yeah,
Right. And just
yeah, something
I
to
think
do.
the biggest thing is the snack. And I've
Yes,
seen a lot of different, and I've never done it, but people do colored things. Like I've seen like get all yellow items and
yeah,
write in there like sending a box of sunshine, or all green items, or
yes.
all purple throughout the year. I'm not that organized to do something like
Mhm,
every month, but
mhm,
I've seen tons of people post about things like that.
yeah.
And I think what's great about sending stuff for their friends is also their friends' parents send a care package, and they'll
Yeah.
be like, so and so's mom sent us these things. Also, it's
Yes.
nice. Like,
It is, it
yeah, to
is,
go
it
back and forth,
is, it
or
is.
game day, or St. Patrick's Day, or that kind of
Sure.
stuff. I think that those are fun things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know as parents, don't feel overwhelmed to send one every month. Again, I think we touched on it, like maybe the birthday, October, and
Yeah.
then finals time is good. And also, you'll find things, general stores like a little dollar store, Dollar Tree, they have great items
Yeah.
that you
Little
will just
things.
kind of be able to put together or create something of your own, reasonably priced, and you can still come up with a lot of good things to put in their
Yeah. Like I said,
package.
or just have something delivered, like pizza
Yes.
delivered,
Yeah.
or you don't have to send a whole box of
Exactly.
things.
Not at all.
But like I said, I had the Tiff's Treats, just a little $20 box of,
Yes.
brownies and cookies, just something for Valentine's Day, because I didn't want to, because, I'm his mom, sending him something on
Right,
Valentine's Day,
right.
but just a little something,
Yeah.
thinking of you kind of thing. And I mean, he enjoyed it. He sent a picture of like, and everybody shared it. I didn't intend for him to eat the whole box of
Right.
brownies, but more of it something to share. But have a pizza delivered
All of
at
that's
home.
great.
And
I'm sorry to interrupt, but out of
uh,
curiosity from a male perspective, when you're putting these care packages together, is presentation paramount, or do we have to focus on actually making the items arrive without destruction? Or
both. Both.
Good
Yeah.
but
question. Yeah, good question.
how do you balance that out? Because I would be completely focused on just wrapping everything, and when you open it, it's going to look like a mummified box of stuff, and nothing moves.
Well, that
But
works for Halloween, right?
That's
well,
right.
sure,
That good.
for
Yeah.
the one
There you
time
go.
a year. But I
Yeah.
mean, I guess that's my question. Do you guys focus on the presentation when you open the box, like that sunshine that you mentioned, Laura?
And she said
Yes.
like both. Yeah.
Both.
You can find all that little paper
But
shred. It's colorful. And, I definitely put a big,
and I also wouldn't
you
put
know,
anything breakable in there.
sure.
The
Yeah.
snacks and the
Yeah.
chips and things. Just you want to put it so it doesn't break along the way, but
Mhm.
both you want to.
So no Oreos.
You can manage Oreos. They
Sure
can
you
work
can.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't do chocolates, anything that
Mhm.
melts. I
Mhm.
wouldn't put anything that melts in there,
Yeah.
because that's
Okay.
asking for trouble. But yeah, you can do gum and, beef jerky,
And things like
chips,
that, even like
cookies.
mints, things like that, that they don't usually will go by, but hey, got to interview. Hey, little mint, little
And
gum,
stuff.
little something, just little things that they will not go and buy on their
And
own.
if you're throwing in the socks and, the
Yeah.
fuzzy sock stuff, that all provides cushion in
Mhm.
there, and
Yes.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So I get the parent emails from Baylor all the time about the care packages, and they're on
Mhm.
rails, right?
Mhm.
So I'm sure that every university offers something like that, but you pretty much just have to put your credit card number in, and like, we're going to send
You
this package. It
can.
has all these things in it. If they have
Mhm.
dietary restrictions, please let us know. But otherwise, it's going to be this big
Yeah,
old
for
box.
sure. And that's the first thing Baylor sends out. And I'm sure A&M, where your
Mhm.
kids
Yes.
went, the same thing. Like we offer this service, and that's great.
It is.
And it probably comes out to the same. But for me personally, I look at it, I'm like, my kid wouldn't like any of that stuff. But some
Yeah.
kids would, and it'd be great. It's like a membership, right? You pay every quarter, a month, and
And
they just
it.
send things out. But I feel like I want it to be a little more personal.
And
That's
that's
me.
for me. I haven't used those services, but absolutely, they do send the care packages, and you
Mhm.
pay a fee, like you just said, and they do it for you. So that's just also a nice idea
Mhm.
too.
And I've never participated. I don't really know a lot of Baylor parents here, but I know in other
Mm-hmm.
areas, moms get together that all their kids go to the same school, and they all bring something and put
Yes.
all of these care packages
Yeah.
together and send them out to kids,
Also a good idea.
all the kids
Yes.
from their area. So if you know other parents where your kids are going to school, get together with them, and everybody to combine send
Yeah.
something together for their kids and put it together, and they get together one night and have a nice evening of parents and do that. But I don't really know any other.
Yeah, and that would be nice too. I'm sure parents want to share their stories, and at the same time, they're doing something great for their their
Or
kids. And
doing it
that's also
together.
a great idea too.
And because it is a lot of work. I mean,
Yeah,
to wrap everything
mhm.
and pack everything. And so if you're doing it collectively, that makes everything easier, right?
It does. And one thing too, so many kids do live in dorms. Definitely track your package and
Mhm.
make sure, because they deliver it maybe to
The front off.
the front office, and always make sure you maybe let your kid know that, hey,
Something's
I sent
arriving.
something, and be on the lookout. And once you're getting the tracking, so you know it's arrived.
Mhm.
But sometimes they have to actually go downstairs or go to the front office
Yeah.
to get it. So that's important to make sure you have
So
some tracking on
what
it.
did happen with me with the Tiff treats that I did not realize, because he was in the dorm at the
Mhm.
time, I thought they would just leave the box at the front office. And I did tell him something's arriving, but I didn't tell him what. But it ended up that the company called him to tell him, we have something for you. And I
Mhm.
thought it would like ruin the surprise. I'm like, why are they calling him? But they were working out a time that they could
To
leave
deliver.
it to him
I
in
see.
person.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
they wanted to make sure he was
Yeah.
in the dorm. It still worked out and he was fine with it. But for me, I'm like, oh, I wanted this presentation of this box there for you.
Surprising him even more
But
so. But
it
yeah.
just, so you kind of have to be careful if you're going to hire or get things delivered like that on what that looks
Yeah.
like.
And yeah, you're right. Kind of getting to know when they're going to be there at the dorm or not. Because, yeah, but it's good, I guess, in those cases that they do call to make sure that someone's there at the dorm
Yeah.
to get it.
It was
Yeah.
still a
Okay.
surprise. It still
It's
worked.
still, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For
Apartment
sure.
complexes are the same way. The
Yes.
hotel-like building that Skylar lived in, and she lives in one now too. It's kind of a hit or miss. Sometimes it goes to the front office, and sometimes it goes to the mailroom, and
That's right.
sometimes it actually goes to the door, and they leave it there too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you have to kind of be just alert on that.
Vigilant.
But
Vigilant about that.
I think snacks are the biggest thing, and gift cards to food
Yes.
places or
You know,
Starbucks.
That
or-
too. Their little coffee kicks that they need.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I would
all those are
recommend
good
video
ideas.
games if I were a college student now.
No,
I don't know.
no, don't.
I'm just saying.
Disregard.
For
We're gonna
the kids
delete
out
that.
there.
Yes.
Just send them a video. I know that's a time waster, but
you know, but
That's
still,
a little too
some
much
kids
time.
do enjoy that. You're right. You're right.
I guess it depends on your kid. you know.
everybody
Yeah.
knows their own kid. They know what they like.
Yeah, that is correct.
I would not send my son a video game, just for the record, if you're listening.
But we did. I send him a whole Xbox and a video game, everything for pickup. Remember?
That was at the
Now
end
we
of the year.
know. Now we know.
Yeah, last year he wanted to play that Hogwarts game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he didn't have the right Xbox for it. So we went up to order for pickup at the Best Buy with the game and everything so that he could just go and get it.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. He
But
said
that was a request. That wasn't a surprise.
it wasn't a surprise. But I mean, it was a surprise that we said yes.
Right? Yeah. It's like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
And
I'm for
there's
it.
also like game day stuff when they're getting to like their championship games, if their team's great. As we discussed off air, that is not going to be the case for us this year.
No.
Yes.
But
yes.
other schools,
Yes, that's right.
if there's a big game that's away, you kind of send a package for them to watch the game for pizza and wings and drinks and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Those are
I know
always
it's not
fun.
as
Super
exciting,
ideas.
but you did mention sending them things they normally wouldn't buy for themselves, like gloves when it gets cold and
Yeah.
hats. But
You know?
I think of consumables
Yeah.
like for a man, for a guy, razors and
Yeah, right.
the Dr.
Always-
Squatch soap that he used and I use, like all those things. Like he's going to be very reluctant to spend $6 on a bar of soap,
Yeah, that is correct.
but
I'm
he's
telling you.
more than
Yeah.
willing to take 10 or more from us
Yeah.
in a box just like that.
So
All those
for
things.
those things, for that, I have a subscription that every 3 months they get delivered to him because he will not go and buy them. He'll
Yes.
send me, I need more.
Yeah. So,
So,
hey,
Yeah.
I've never done that before, but that is also
Yeah.
another nice idea.
Yeah, he said they're too expensive to buy. I was like, well, you.
Hey, Yeah,
Man.
they don't want to spend their money on that. No,
Yes.
no.
right.
You know,
So
they do not. They do
Maybe
not.
send an umbrella
Yeah.
or, Oh.
Again, yes, because there's that rainy season, and they just truly. We talked about it earlier in another podcast about, yes, you want them to have their rain boots and umbrellas, but sometimes those things don't get to the
Mhm,
door,
mhm.
and so just kind of later send one a small size umbrella to fit in their backpack.
Have
They're
we
careful.
ever sent anything? Because I know our friends that live out of state, right? They really like the local food or miss local food. Like they miss Delia's tamales. They miss,
Mhm.
sometimes they don't have access to a Whataburger, right? And that's not really something you can send, but you can send a Delia's to another state. I don't know if,
Yeah,
I don't know if
those
anybody's ever done that before. We've sent Delia's to
favorite
somebody. What did
food.
we do?
It was a Christmas gift. Yeah.
Okay,
for-
we sent, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is right. They just miss those tastes from
Mhm.
home. I did have when I was in college. One of my roommates, her mom would always send just baked cookies, and they arrived great. I think that was the first time I was exposed to care packages. I'm like, oh my gosh, and she would be so nice to share it with us. And we knew that box was coming, and they were just so good. So
Mhm.
usually they get there in a day or two.
And I have a friend who just sent things like ramen and those little things, like I said, all the chips and the ramen
Popcorn
things,
bags,
little snack.
microwavable popcorn, just so many of those things that you don't think about it, but they're going to enjoy it.
For Skylar, I remember I included pistachios because she loves pistachios, but she's not going to pay $8 for a bag of pistachios, right? Like that's
That's
little,
it.
just little things of, yeah.
Yes, all that. Yeah.
So it sounds a lot to me like send something they love, something they need, something that reminds them of home,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and something to remind them that we do care about them and we love them out there.
Exactly. And they're just, tough it out this last few weeks of the semester, whatever semester it may be.
Yeah,
And,
because
you
I think from
know,
this point forward, October through finals, it goes quick
it does.
because they have a fall break, they have Thanksgiving break. In between there's midterms and finals. And I think for my experience, at least with my kids, is after Thanksgiving, they start studying for finals and it pretty much is like full speed
Yes, it
and
is. Yes. Yeah.
it's
That's how it
crazy.
becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really
So I
flies
usually
by.
try to do something. It feels immediate right after Thanksgiving, but yeah, that's when they start. Right at the end, beginning of December, you have to send something to kind of just push through.
Push through. Yes. Yeah. And just to motivate them, just say, hey, almost home, almost home,
Almost made it.
almost made it. And just stick
Mhm.
to it. And I think really every time we've sent a care package, they just really are appreciative of it.
Yeah. And I don't think it matters what kind of student you have because they're all stressed. If they're
Yes.
excellent students, they want to keep up those grades. If they're struggling, they're trying to pass. I
Yeah.
think at any level, they're stressed out. Like
Sure.
so
Sure.
any student would welcome it. That's not one of those things that you're like, well, I don't know that my kid needs one. Like they're all struggling. They're all stressed.
Yes.
That
Most
whole time.
certainly. Most
Because I know the
certainly.
universities even try to accommodate, like do things. I know at Baylor, they bring in goats so they can do yoga or puppies to hug and pet and things like that around
To
finals.
support that stress.
Just
Sure.
for the
I
stress.
like
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
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 Just little
know.
things to
So
alleviate that because every student is experiencing it. If they're in college, regardless if they stayed home for
Yeah.
college or if they went away to college, finals is stressful.
it is. It
Yeah.
is.
So even if
So-
your kid's at home, do something a little special for them either too. Like you don't have to send a care package.
I
but
agree. I agree.
buy them gift cards so they can go get some food and not worry about anything or some Starbucks drinks.
Yeah.
So if you can send something, and that's going to remind them that you care.
Bottom
Just a
line.
little bit. Mhm.
Mhm.
All right. Very nice.
Any other ideas that we didn't cover?
I think we covered it really well. And even when those care packages, we're not sending them off, but just the little text, a little picture of a motivational little thought, our phones do so much too. So that's also just another way to
Mhm.
send a nice, caring thought to them besides
Or some Venmo.
their Venmo. Right. The list goes on.
I mean,
It is
it could-
unbelievable.
It
The
can
list
be
goes on
really
and on and
simple
on.
that
It
if you
is.
forgot to send something, just send a little
Yeah.
$20 on Venmo. Go
Yeah.
get yourself some Chick-fil-A or you can do
Yeah.
really quick things, I think.
And absolutely,
Mhm.
truly all good ideas.
Those are awesome ideas. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for
I
joining
appreciate
us. Just a little fun episode to share.
Yes. Thank
Nice
you.
ideas.
Thank you.